All right. Okay. Hi, Amy. So
Hi, Cam. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for being here. And it's just wonderful to be with you today and for sharing what you've got out of your training with magnetic speaking. And hopefully somebody will see it and maybe something you say will connect with them and make a difference. So I'd love to just hear from you. Well, first of all, what had you get into public speaking training in the first place?
I'm always in a journey for self-improvement, and I always knew that being an articulate speaker or just speaking well is going to get me far in life, whether it's professionally or personally. So that's why it's really important for me to look into that and just continue to work those muscles.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's awesome. And what had you just find magnetic speaking of all places and come to a class here?
Well, originally I just thought the only one I knew was Toastmasters. And I've done that before, it's facilitated, and I have to participate in counting and all of these things. And it was really distracting. And many of the times I didn't really get a turn and I didn't really get a lot of the feedback. And I didn't walk away feeling like I got what I really needed. And when I tried the magnetic speaking, it was through like an advertisement somewhere. And I'm like, great, it's facilitated. I don't have to facilitate anything. And someone's going to provide candid feedback in a small group setting where I feel like it's in a safe environment. And I feel like the feedback is shared in a way it's customized for me. And I think that's really important because that helps me fine tune the areas that I need to work on and also pay attention to these things, as I walk out into my personal life or my professional life.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. And it really anywhere you can go out and get practice is awesome. But one thing that uh, I think really makes our particular training effective is we like to share the science of why the techniques work the way that they do, why the frameworks work the way they do, and then the art of it is in the practice, the implementation, the coaching, the polishing. So that's awesome. That's wonderful to hear. And what was it that you wanted to go to work on and got for yourself out of your participation?
I didn't really know exactly what I needed to work on. I just thought I was fine. I know how to talk. And I don't always feel super intimidated when I'm speaking. But then the weekly sessions really helped because there were different themes. And I thought, great, all I have to do is participate in the activities. And as I'm doing these activities, I'm noticing there are discomfort in certain areas. And there were some areas I wasn't as good at as I thought. And then so I think these discomfort just kind of gives me an idea of the areas that I need to work on and things to pay attention on, and things that I thought were bad weren't so bad, and things that were I thought were good may not have been so great. And I think it's great that we get the candid, immediate feedback so that we can kind of figure out what's really right and what's really wrong. I mean, of course, there's no real right or wrong, but it's more in terms of my style and just kind of, getting in touch with my style.
Yeah. Yeah. I love what you said about noticing what made you uncomfortable when you're speaking. And really that's where the growth happens. Public speaking, it can kind of occur as this mysterious thing. How do I go to work on it? Where do I start? And as you might have noticed for yourself, you go, like you said, there's a themed class. You go to a themed class, maybe it's in delivery, vocal tonality, body language, things like that. And you might realize, hey, there's a gap in my delivery, or there's a gap in my messaging, my content, or my storytelling, or when I'm put on the spot, I get really uncomfortable. And then just embracing that and leaning in and going to work on it. That's awesome. Well, it's been nothing but a pleasure, Amy, having you here and being able to work with you and have you participate in our classes. And I'm curious, is this something that you would recommend, or you think that other professionals would find valuable for themselves?
100%. As I mentioned earlier, I think that some public speaking is great for me personally and professionally. And I think more so in the professional setting because, with any professionals, the ability to speak with clarity and influence and credibility, I mean, that's really one of the number one tools to get them far ahead to success. And I just couldn't recommend it more.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you, Amy.
You're welcome. Thanks, Cam.